Well, hello, brothers and sisters, and welcome back. I come to you with greetings from the God of grace and peace, and continued prayers for all of you and your loved ones in the midst of this current crisis that we find ourselves in. This is episode 2 of a series that I'm calling Icons, and if you recall from episode 1, just a brief review here. We made a distinction between icons and idols. And we talked about Exodus 20, that includes that commandment in which we are not to make idols of anything. We are not to put anything before God. And so we're making this distinction in this series between that, an idol that gets in the way of God or can replace God if we're not careful, and an icon which is something that has a sense of transcendence, a sense of eternity, and that you can look at, gaze upon, and see beyond, and it becomes, as I said in our first episode, a portal or a pathway towards love and God and towards those things that are eternal. And so what we're doing with this series is we're looking at a collection of items that I have in my own home, which are, I guess, personal icons, if you will, things that I keep around me that provide strength, that provide reminders, that provide faith, and a way towards love and hope, particularly in difficult times. And so what I'm encouraging all of you to do is to find those things and recognize those things that are in your own places, in your own homes, that you find yourself in for an abundance of time during this crisis, and perhaps they can provide strength. And so in episode 1 we talked about the stole, and today, if you're not figuring it out, we're moving towards Aloha, or Hawaii. My family and I had the great blessing to go on a vacation a couple summers ago to the island of Oahu in Hawaii, and it was there that we truly fell in love with a place. And so one of the things we always want to remind ourselves of is that God is everywhere. But there is a certain significance to place, right? Well, you know that in your own homes, you know that in your vacations, or in any places that you have occupied and visited that had a certain significance. And for us, the place of Hawaii had a great significance. And so where I'm sitting now is just this little nook in our room. And what I've done, what happened after we returned back from Hawaii, is that we created this little space that has all these reminders of that wonderful time. You see, a visit like that, a vacation like that, it can create such a significant and lasting memory that it stays with you. We don't ever leave those places. Those places actually come with us, and the spirit that we met, the spirit that we met within the people and the place of Oahu and Hawaii was so impactful and significant for us that it has stayed with us. But it's nice to have reminders of that time, and so there's a variety of them around me, and I won't show you all of them. I'll pull this one down, and what we have here in this first one is just a small little sketch or painting that my son Ben did, and it was a particular view that we visited several times during our stay there to gaze upon the sunset. And so this is a real special memory. Also in this corner, I'll show you that, is you may recognize that little van. This is actually a tiny replica of the van that appears in the TV show Lost, which is one of my absolute favorite things of all time. It is probably my single most favorite TV show ever. It carries with it, for me, a real significance and a sense, again, of community and connection and eternity. And ironically, coincidentally, or maybe not, it was there on the island of Oahu that show was filmed. And so during our vacation, we were able to go to several locations that were featured in that TV show. And I don't think it's an accident that show was such a significant thing for so many people, that it struck a chord. And I don't think it's an accident that it was filmed on that island that is filled with so much spirit and life, because we felt that. We truly felt that there. Now, there's a couple other items One is just a ukulele. This is something that I actually picked up a few years ago, but as you may know, the ukulele is a very special instrument and carries a lot of significance in Hawaii. And so we'll give you a little bit of flavor of that just after that. And then there's one other item. Where did I put it? Here we go. There we go. Bear with me. This is the lei that was provided to us, to the men, when we entered our resort in Hawaii. And so the beauty and significance of this lei is that it's made of kuku nuts, Kuku nut, and there's a great history and tradition that lies within the culture in Hawaii as it relates to these nuts. You see, the oil from the tree and that also grew these nuts, that oil was used in ancient times. It was burned to create light, to bring forth light. And so this lei and these nuts are actually symbols and representation or icons, as we're talking about in this series, of light. And with light comes hope. So they represent light and hope. And so this is something that I can gaze upon and see and hold and listen to and even wear and be reminded of light and hope. And that is a great and a beautiful and significant thing. And it's what I leave you today, brothers and sisters. May you experience in your lives right now, right? Even with all that's going on, may you feel the God of light and hope. And may you be light and hope for others today and every day. Can I get an amen? All right, check this out now. Here's a little flavor of Hawaii in a sense, and I hope we can do it some decent justice. All right.
Trouble melts like lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you'll find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. And the dreams that you dare to, why, oh, why can't I?
Well, that was fun. That was fun, and I hope we did okay and that you enjoyed that. I want to close this episode out with a prayer. It actually comes from our United Methodist Book of Worship. It's a blessing. It actually is a blessing provided by the Dakota tribe. So it's a Native American blessing, and so not quite Hawaiian, but yet I feel a certain connection and a kinship to this Native American prayer, and kind of the history, the native history, the ancient history that lies in Hawaii, and this sense of nature which is found on that island, and also found certainly within our Native American brothers and sisters. And so the prayer is this, and I leave you with it. It says, "Grandfather, Great Spirit, you have always been, and before your nothing has been. There is no one to pray to but you. The star nations all over the heaven are yours, and yours are the grasses of the earth. You are older than all need, older than all pain and prayer. Grandfather, Great Spirit, fill us with light. Give us strength to understand and eyes to see. Teach us to walk the soft earth as relatives to all that live. Help us, for without you we are nothing. Amen and amen." Thank you, brothers and sisters. We'll see you again soon.